All right, we're late. Better late than never. Yeah, we're a whole round late, so let's just dive right into it. Number one overall pick of the WNBA draft was AZ Fudd. Back-to-back number one overall picks for the Dallas Wings. Number two overall pick was Olivia Miles to the Minnesota Lynx. Got their point guard of the future. Number three overall pick was Wnba to the Seattle Storm. Number four overall pick was NCAA champion Lauren Betts out of UCLA. Fifth overall pick was another UCLA champion, Gabriela Jaquez, sister of Jaime Jaquez. Sixth overall pick, first in franchise history for the Toronto Tempo, was yet another UCLA Bruin champion, Kiki Rice. Seventh overall pick, first draft pick in the history of the Portland Fire, was Iana Martin Carrion out of Spain. Eighth overall pick was Flau'jae Johnson to the Golden State Valkyrie. Ninth overall pick was another UCLA Bruin champion in Angela Dugalich. Then the 10th overall pick for the Indiana Fever was two-time NCAA champion out of South Carolina, Raven Johnson. 11th overall pick to the Washington Mystics was Cody McMahon out of Ole Miss. The 12th overall pick for the Connecticut Sun was Nell Angloma out of France. She was a Euro basket champion and MVP. The 13th overall pick to the Atlanta Dream was Medina Okot out of South Carolina, 6'6" out of Kenya. The 14th overall pick for the Seattle Storm was Taina Mayer, point guard out of Duke. And the final pick of the first round for the Connecticut Sun, 15th overall, was Gianna Neepkins out of UCLA, yet another Bruin champion. UCLA made WNBA history, becoming the first collegiate program to produce 5 first-round draft picks. Very impressive stuff. Second round, first pick was actually a trade after the pick was made. The Seattle Storm originally selected Marta Suarez to pair with Awafam and to pair with, let me not butcher her name, the point guard out of Duke, Taina Mayer. Then they drafted Marta Suarez. And then, the draft kept on moving accordingly. The Portland Fire would then draft Freda Bjornher out of Germany. But immediately after that trade, it was either right before or immediately after the Portland Fire trade, Seattle traded Marta Suarez and a 2028 second overall pick for Flau'jae Johnson's draft rights from the Golden State Valkyrie. So even though Flau'jae was drafted, I want to say 8th overall by Golden State, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, she was drafted 8th overall by Golden State. Not even a full round later, she would then be traded for Marta Suarez and a 2028 second overall pick. So Marta Suarez is now on the Golden State Valkyrie, and Flau'jae Johnson is on the Seattle Storm. Yes. Then Charlize Legger Walker became the first player out of New Zealand and yet another UCLA Bruin champion to be drafted 18th overall by the Connecticut Sun. Then the Washington Mystics selected Cassandra Prosper out of Notre Dame. The Los Angeles Sparks selected Taina Latson out of South Carolina. Chicago Sky select 21st overall Latasha Lattimore out of Ole Miss. 22nd overall pick for the Toronto Tempo was Tioni Key out of Kentucky. Then Golden State Valkyrie selected Ashlyn Jackson out of Duke. She was arguably the star player of Duke this season for them, if I'm not mistaken. Los Angeles Sparks then selected Chance Gray out of Ohio State. And the Indiana Fever selected Justine Pissot out of Vanderbilt. Let's go a little more detail on that one. 6'4", one of the most improved players in the country. Pissot ranked 12th in the country and made three-pointers and made more this season than she did her previous 3 years combined. This is where her potential lies. A long-range shooter whose 6'4" frame will allow her to launch over smaller wings. Well, if that's a wing, that's an interesting pick for the Fever. But she's listed as a shooting guard at 6'4". Wow, that's an interesting pick. And currently, we are on the 26th overall pick. The Toronto Tempo selected Saffron Shields out of Australia.
because they were able to mine some of the
And now we are on the Mercury's draft pick.
And so here's their roster. They can, I guess, as long as no one gets in foul trouble, they can play.
Almost done. The draft almost done here in the second round. We still have the third round to go later on, but we are almost done here with the second round. Looks like the pick is in for the Phoenix Mercury. A lot of uncertainty on this roster right about now. Alyssa Thomas, I heard she was trying to go to I hope I'm not butchering it. The Alternative League, Plan B. I'm assuming that's what it was called. Satu Sabali, as we all know, just went to the New York Liberty to create a freaking super team. And Wnba Bonner, I think she re-signed. But yeah, curious to see what they do with the pick. And the pick is in. The Phoenix Mercury select Inez Picharc-Grenelle, shooting guard out of France. 2025 Under-19 World Cup with France. She put up 9.7 and 4 rebounds. It doesn't look like she's in the building. She must be overseas right now.
Another selection in with the 28th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft.
28th pick of the draft, the Atlanta Dream select India Navar out of North Carolina.
We saw her really play well.
I think this is a good pick. This is a guard that could score. I want to say she was, essentially North Carolina's best player in their program this year. So, take a look at some of her stat lines. Not providing a stat line, but yeah, she's not bad. She's a good player.
And I were at that exact same game. We're sitting up in the stands, and we looked up her side, and we're like, wait, she's not 6'2".
All ACC defensive team, so two-way guard, can score, can defend. I think that's what the Dream needed. They went after front court in free agency with Angel Reese and drafting Medina Okot, so they needed to improve their guard play as well. They got Jordan Canada they re-signed. They have Alicia Gray, obviously. They have Reen Howard as their 3-and-D wing.
All right, well, AZ Fudd, the #1 selection tonight. She will join the show next, coming to the desk after being the #1 overall selection.
Lesson number 3. They won't feel your fit out there until you feel it in here.
2 more picks remaining in this second round. The Las Vegas Aces are on the board. If I'm not mistaken, this is their first pick of the draft. I think this is the first time seeing the Aces in the entire thing. Yeah. I want to see what Vegas does here. They re-signed Dana Evans, to a 2-year, if I'm not mistaken. We all know Asia Wilson staying. Chelsea Gray re-signed. I want to say they re-signed Alyssa Smith. So most of the core is back, as well as Dana Evans, who had a really good run in the playoffs. Wonder where they go here. I think they signed Brianna Turner, too, in free agency. They have their 4s, and their front court seems kind of established with... I want to say Cheyenne Parker-Tyus will come back this season, too. We didn't even really get to see her really healthy with the team for a long duration of the season. The new CBA and everything was designed for the Liberty and the Aces to not be the powerhouse that they are, but they still kind of are. Especially the Liberty. What the Liberty is doing right now is crazy. They don't care about this draft right now, what the Liberty are doing.
Watch my tail with you. Ooh, what a fitting little cap.
It feels good to score some savings.
If I had to blindly make a favorite, it's crazy to say because we're doing this whole draft live companion, but I would say it's the team with no draft picks in this fucking draft. It's the New York Liberty. I think they should be the favorite going into the season right now. If everybody's healthy, that team is stacked. That team is crazy if they're healthy. I think they got to keep Hamilton too. They have a good team. I don't know who the coach is now that Sandy, I want to say, is in Toronto or Portland, one of the new expansion teams she's the coach of. Last year was crazy, man. They started the season 14-14 and they ran the table. Finished season 16-0. Crazy second half of the season last year from the Aces.
Got pushed by Seattle, but escaped. Got pushed by Indiana, but
Fever put up the best fight.
were able to sweep the Phoenix Mercury. Asia Wilson, a 4-time MVP.
Asia Wilson became got her 4th MVP last year, most all-time in WNBA history. I mean, what can I say? She's the GOAT. I think she's the best basketball player in the world right now, including men. Real talk.
Vegas has done a nice job retaining all that.
One of 2 teams in WNBA history to win 3 titles in 4 years. The Houston Comets was the other.
They want to stay, whether it's a Jewel Lloyd, a Chelsea Gray, a Jackie Young.
Oh yeah, they re-signed Jewel Lloyd too. Like yeah, their core is established. Don't really know what they're gonna do with this pick. Yeah, they got Cheyenne Parker-Tyus coming back. It's a good team. The roster as is is good right now. Jackie, I completely forgot about Jackie Young. They got her too. I mean, wow. Aces are stacked.
When we talk about dynasties, the most recent one is the Las Vegas Aces and their ability to win season after season. Even when things don't look like they're going well early in the season, they're able to figure it out. And when you look at their loaded roster, the one thing they need, a rookie salary.
Well, the pick is in. Let's see what the reigning champs and essentially the reigning dynasty of the league picks here.